Hey, what's happening, everybody? TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live, first official YouTube edition of that going on here. And I am not even completely set up, so per usual on the old TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live, I'm going to grab my beer. Whoa, hey, going all funky wonky on there. Hang on, everybody. So, thank you all for being here. And that's how we do it on TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live. So, per usual, if you're new to the TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live, welcome. I'm TK. This used to run over on Instagram Live, but bring it over here to YouTube and going to be eventually trying to take it to all platforms at one time. But thank y'all for being here. So I'm TK. Every Tuesday, do a little live video for about an hour in the evenings, just to kind of decompress from the past week, drink some beers, share them with them friends, whoever shows up on the stream and everything like that, and just try to have a stronger interaction with the TK and Drinks community. Share some news with you, all that jazz. So I guess without any further ado, let's see what we're drinking tonight. So anybody who's here, definitely let me know what you're drinking on over in the comment section. Always love to see what everybody picks up from around the country or around the world. Sometimes I get lucky enough to get some viewers in from Australia and from around the world. Leaving the price tags on there. What a rookie move. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on, man. There we go. But so TK and Drinks, formerly Beers and Bullshits, but TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live. First up, we are drinking a double IPA called the Miami Heist from Liquid Gravity. I'm not sure I've ever had anything from these cats before. I don't really know much about them. Saw the can, was intriguing. Liquid Gravity Brewing out of San Luis Obispo. I've been to San Luis Obispo a handful of times, and anybody who's been to racing of any kind should know that that is where Laguna Seca is, which is one of the gnarliest racetracks that we have here in America for like road courses. Highly suggest checking it out on any of the racing video games if you ever get a chance. It has got some wild turns in it. Equally as cool looking in real life. But apparently we got a brewery there called Liquid Gravity, and they make a double IPA called the Miami Heist. And it looks like that's, can't tell, is that quite like an old Challenger or a, yeah, it's got to be a Challenger. I thought it was a Firebird at first, but got a Challenger. We got a couple cats in there being chased by the police. Love that can. So it just goes to say that the old artwork on the can, it always pays to have cool artwork on your can, because sometimes people just shop with their eyeballs. I know, well, I mean, this is obviously evident, but I definitely know I do. Be bold, take risks, never look back. Liquid Gravity Brewing Company is an independent, family-owned and operated brewery in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. We have a passion for daringly fearless, fresh, and flavorful beer. We pour our hearts into everything we do, and we are honored to share our passion with you. Miami Heist, unfiltered double IPA, 8%, full pint. Be kind, please rewind, recycle, rewind, whatever. I guess that is kind of like rewinding the can back into something else. So, got this going. See what we can do. Maybe I can manage to pour it without getting it all jacked up, spilling it everywhere. Man, these unfiltered IPAs are super hazy. And this is super heady too. I'm not a big fan of the dry hop stuff, which I was kind of glad this one isn't dry hop, but the IPA train I think is definitely leaving the station. I think everybody's looking for something with a little more, let's say, quality to it, but something with a little more, something a little less flavors being passed off as flaws, or flaws being passed off as flavors. I don't know. It's something, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not overly impressed with it. Drinking it at, I don't know, 55 or whatever, just came out of the chiller. It's doing all right. A little bit earthy. Not nearly as juicy as I was hoping it would be. The hazies come through. I mean, I guess for the price, it's right, but I'm not overly impressed. It takes a lot to impress me with an IPA anymore. And I don't not try to sound like a beer snob or a beer bro or anything like that, but I mean, like, I just feel like there's genuinely not that many good IPAs out there, and there's a lot of people just trying to pass off, whatever as a good IPA, and they got a lot of clout in the beer game, and they got a lot of clout in the social media game. So, they put something out and people clamor for it, but definitely not overly thrilled with this. I'll still drink it. I mean, I like drinking IPAs because they're got a high ABV for a lot of bang for your buck, so to speak. But I mean, I guess if I really want to go that route, I could just go drink like Four Locos or something like that. Man, even when Four Locos were fashionable, I was never drinking Four Locos. That was something I could not get into. I mean, I used to drink like the St. Ives and the MD 2020s back in the day. It's been a long time since I had anything like that with Boone's Farm. But yeah, I could never get into the Four Locos. I don't really need my alcohol caffeinated. I found that's a dangerous combination for me. Vodka Red Bull, not my thing ever. Jaeger bombs, we were doing those for quite a while. A lot of Jägermeister flowing through in the early 2000s. But, again, it was fashionable, so that's kind of just what we were doing at the time. Never had a Jägerator. We looked into getting a Jägerator, but yeah, I don't know if we couldn't find one. I remember it was we couldn't justify paying for it when it held 3/5, and we were usually buying it by the half gallon, which I mean I guess is technically a little less than 3/5, but we wanted one that would hold like 3 half-gallon bottles, and I don't think we could find one. I mean, I don't know if that makes us alcoholics or not at the time. I guess. But yeah, Jägerator was always something we thought would be cool to have, and never never came to fruition. Which I guess you can probably get one now. Well, I don't even know what would be cool to have like something like that on tap if you just have like ice cold liquor like that. I'm not even really a liquor drinker anymore. It's been so long since I've been a avid consumer of just like hard alcohol. Having a mead keg tap in the house would be freaking awesome, or having like a craft beer tap, but having some spirits on tap, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, thanks y'all for being here. Whoever shows up later, whoever's here live right now, looks like I got one person live still. So thank you for being here, whoever you is. I appreciate showing up, and see what's been going on since the last time we were here and met together again. So I changed platforms. If you ever didn't get to follow me over on Instagram because you didn't see me or didn't follow me over there, I was doing Instagram live videos over there. I could probably throw it up on my phone as well and see if I can't get another follower. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that, because again, it's TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live. I'm gonna call it audible. That's what we're doing. So again, since the last time we met up anyway, it's been 2 weeks, and both those Tuesdays I was flying. I flew up to Seattle and then flew back from Seattle on last Tuesday, and the Tuesday prior to that, the 8th and the 15th. So I was definitely not in the mood to do, or even in the situation to do a TK and Drinks video, because they don't let you do that on the plane. I guess I could have got the Wi-Fi on the plane and could have figured something out, but I didn't. I figured I was just going to spend the time with my family. But I did get a handful of little videos and stuff while I was there. Whoa, I'm just knocking shit over. While I was in Washington, I got a handful of videos and stuff. Not nearly as many as I wanted to. But I got some. I really got caught up in the moment looking back at the experience and everything like that. I was talking with my buddy John up there at Opagard Meadery about it, and he was just saying saying the same thing. It's like, we had so much fun. We were talking to so many people, doing so many different things. It was just kind of, time got away from us, and yeah. But I had a blast doing it. Definitely, like I said, got a handful of videos that we're gonna put up. So be on the lookout for those. See if I can't get another, get this going live on the old Instagram as well. Again, if you ever follow me on anything, know that everything I do is kind of a freaking disaster. There we go. TK and Drink Tuesday Night Live going on multiple spots. We doing the Instagram, we doing the Facebook. Nope, not Facebook. Sorry, Instagram and YouTube. So there we go. Yeah, that's just total chaos right there. Absolutely. So I got cameras here, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Oh, no, camera 3. But it's kind of like a little Wayne's World thing going on there. So if anybody's watched Wayne's World, which I'm doubting. Nobody? Yeah. Anyway, so Instagram people, thank you for just showing up. TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live got a little bit started late there on the old live feed. We're messing with YouTube. So trying to get the setup going so we can do TK and Drinks Tuesday Night Live on all the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So be on the lookout for that coming up in the future as well, in the near future. So back to my story. So went up to Seattle for a week and had an interesting experience. Got to meet a couple different cats from some meaderies up there in Washington. Got to meet the cats at Hierophant Meadery up on Woodby Island. That was Jeremy and Michelle. Had a great time talking with them. Spent the whole afternoon at their meadery. Got a little interview in with Jeremy. Well, actually, it was a pretty big interview. Got to check out their production facilities and just got to hang out and pretty much just chill with those guys for the afternoon. And then the next day, got to head out to Fremont Brewing up there in downtown, well, in Fremont, which is like North Seattle-ish area. And then got to check out Mr. B's Meadery down, and I believe it's also in Fremont as well. But I did not get to meet Mr. B. I believe his name is Brian, because he was out of town on a camping trip. And I guess he said it's the first one he's taken in like 2 years or something like that. It happened to be the weekend that I'm in town, which was kind of just my luck. It kind of seems to be how the whole weekend went. But yeah, so ended up meeting up with after we went to Fremont. Oh no, but after we went to Fremont Brewing, we headed over to what was the name of that? Oh, Skull, the mead hall. So we got this really kick-ass mead hall in downtown Seattle. Again, I think it's Fremont area. I wasn't driving. I wasn't paying that much attention to where we were going. But a place called Skull. It's a beer hall, mead hall, and they have some really cool Norwegian food we got to try out. Picked up a couple different beers and some meads, and ran into Eric from Asir Meadery up in Everett. So he joined our party. So now it's me and John Opegard and our friend Blaine from Contravent. I'm gonna butcher his meadery. I apologize, Blaine. Apologize, Blaine, for that. But so we got to run into that guy and ran into Blaine, ran into Eric, picked up those guys at Skull, and headed out down to Mr. B's Meadery. So we had a flight down there. It was like 15 different samples. Got to try everything he did. I'm a big fan of his there at Mr. B's. Picked up a bottle, and the cork seemed to pop while we were on our way back, while it was in a transit back to Arizona from Washington, which really sucks because I don't know how long the cork was popped for, but when I got it, it was definitely all warm and alcohol was hot on it. So I recorked it, threw it back in the fridge, see if I couldn't kind of like shock it back into existence. And it seems to have helped it out quite a bit. I'm going to do a review on it with a little couple caveats to say, hey, this isn't typical of this thing. So, just be forewarned when you go there. You're gonna get a better product than I got. But I at least wanted to give it a go. So that was a really cool shaped bottle. It's this like kind of like oval shaped bottle. It's a rose. They call it a rhodamel. It was a rose flower mead. So definitely looking forward to getting a full review going on that. And picked up a bottle from Cult Meadery in Tacoma, which was where the next place we went after we left Mr. B's Meadery. Went up to Cult Meadery in Tacoma, Washington. Picked up a Bochette from those guys. Watched a cool metal show while we had our time there, and it was freaking vaccinated people hanging out and chilling and watching metal and drinking really good mead, and it was it was a hell of a time. I made a freaking ass out of myself as soon as I get my first mead. Was the first thing I do. I trip and stumble over something and spill my mead all over myself, all over the couch I was sitting on, and just look like a complete ass, which is unfortunately nothing new for me. But I definitely made a big scene. Got that all cleaned up. Got myself another mead, and man, I'm telling you, these cats up there at Cult Meadery in Washington, definitely doing it up right. I got some good flavors. Like I said, I picked up this Bochet, which is I think it's a blackberry Bochet, but I'm not sure. I have to look at the bottle again. And I got Brian to give me a little autograph on there and everything like that, because I really dig some of these mead makers, and I think a lot of cats out there are kind of, I would say, underrated, but under a lot of people's radars, and don't really pop up a lot when people's names gets mentioned. I feel a lot of cats out there are only getting a lot of the same cats get a lot of play because they are in the right circles, I guess, to put it. It reminds me of kind of like a high school like lunchroom or something like that. You got different cliques. There's these people that hang out, and there's these people that hang out, and there's these people that hang out, and it just kind of gets very, I don't say cliquish, but we'll say cliquish. So it's weird to see people making a really great product that don't get as much recognition. To be honest, a lot of that goes out on them too. If they're not the ones putting themselves out there to get recognized, it's really hard to get any recognition. But that being said, I think there's a lot of cats that are at some smaller levels that are doing some big things, which I'm excited to see. Especially having tasted a few of them this weekend or this past week, 2 weeks ago at this point. Excited to see what all that's coming from, because, like I said, when I got to try all that stuff, it was a hell of a good run over there. So give another crack at this Miami Heist, maybe warming up a little bit is going to bring out some more subtle flavors, and I'll enjoy it a little more. Yes, no. Still not really, get over here back in camera. Yeah, still not really digging that. Not really my jive, but it's not terrible. It's certainly not the worst one I've ever had, but I'm just not, like I said, I think the IPA game, at least for me anyway, is really dying out. I probably even joined the IPA game late, and the same with like the sours and stuff, like the fruited sours. And I'm starting to see a lot less of them coming out from different places. I think everybody's kind of onto something else. What that's going to be, I don't really know. Especially coming into summer now, I'm starting to see a lot of gauzes and fruit, like lightly fruited stuff. But like I said, I haven't seen a whole lot of new sours again. But that's probably because I'm not paying attention to them. I'm not really in that game, so to speak. I'm a guy who can drink something dark and heavy, like a full-bodied, like a nice dark barrel-aged stout or a full-bodied mead, like year-round. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of summer for me. It's like my wife Lauren. She can drink hot coffee year-round. It doesn't matter what time. It's 118 degrees here in Phoenix, and she'll take a hot coffee. I don't know. I don't get it either, but people who do it, that's what they do, and that's how I feel about those stouts and heavy-bodied wines and meads and stuff like that. Give me that right in the heart of summertime. I'm going to enjoy it just as much. I don't know. I mean, I guess I get the whole like refreshing, bright and refreshing, and all that jazz. Oh, hey, check it out there on the Instagram. It's Mr. B's Mead. We were just talking about you, brother, and about how I unfortunately did not get to meet you in person, and but I did get that bottle of the Rose Mead, and I have put it in my fridge per your instructions, and it does seem to be coming back to life a little bit. I'm not overly disappointed with myself as much as I was, and now I'm just regularly disappointed in myself for putting the hurt on that bottle. But I think it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna give it a review, give it a check, put a big old caveat. Yes, the Rose bottle. That's such a unique shaped bottle. I don't know where you came up on those bottles, but man, I don't have it sitting right here in front of me. But when I do the review, I'll certainly make it a point to show that bottle out. And it got a cool label on there. It was like a Twitter feed back and forth between Mr. B, and I believe it was a collab with Blackbird. I think it's somebody there locally. Unfortunately, I'd never heard of the other cat on that bottle, but definitely giving that one a shot. So anybody else who's in that Fremont area, hit up Mr. B's Mead. Mr. B there is at, I believe, Brian, and he has his bar Mays at Sherry, I believe. Anyway, check them out. They're super cool people. They'll take care of you. We got this really kick-ass flight of like 15 different flavors of mead, and it was absolutely amazing. And I highly suggest you at least check that out when you're there. Yes, the Blackbird. That's the one. Whiskey. It's a whiskey bottle collaboration with neighbors at Blackbird. So definitely pick up or scope out or try one of those rose meads in that whiskey bottle, because it's a unique shaped bottle and it's a good taste. Like, I'm not a huge rose fan, like Rhodomels, the whole thought of like a flower flavored mead, like floral notes in my meads and my beers and stuff like that are okay, but like the actual just I can't stand like rose hips in my food and stuff like that. So I was trying to expand my palate, step outside my comfort zone, and do something I might not normally do. And the few sneak peeks I've pulled off the bottle to check its quality there, like I said, it doesn't come across as rose. It comes across as like delectable rose, but it's not overpowering. It doesn't smell like. My grandmother was into roses. Like, she had roses all around her house and had rose perfume and rose potpourri. It was just like a bombardment of rose when you went in there, whatever. And that was kind of just like been my own main experience with roses. And it wasn't what I would call negative, but it's certainly what I wouldn't call overly positive either. But so every time I get something rose flavored, I got rose flavored gummies one time in a snack exchange from somebody in Australia, and had some rose hip different like rose gauze and stuff like that. It's just not for me. But this, to your credit, brother, this thing was really good. The rose flavor came across. It complemented the honey flavor that I got in there. Like I said, I give a caveat to mine because I can't speak to how it should normally taste, but the alcohol was a little bit hot in there. But again, I think that was because it was literally warm temperature instead of being a little bit refrigerated. And like I said, I don't know how long it'd been breathing, that cork sitting on there loosely and whatnot. So definitely go pick up a bottle from Mr. B's and give me your thoughts and opinions next time you got a chance, whoever's out there watching in internet land. Made it with raspberry honey. See, man, and now here I feel like an even bigger asshole, like just like disrespecting the shit out of this bottle. It's got raspberry honey in it. It's got rose petals. I'm gonna make it a point to come back and do it right and get a bottle and have you sign it and all that jazz. Because that was one thing else I wanted to do, is get a signed bottle to go with my one from Cult Mead. Because that one I think would be a cool bottle to have signed. With that whiskey bottle shape and all that. But yeah, so like I said, I feel like an asshole for disrespecting that bottle of mead the way I did, but raspberry honey and rose, and it is phenomenal. So even through all the bullshit, I'd still say give it a shot, because for me, phenomenal means that it doesn't taste like potpourri. You've achieved a floral taste, like an edible flower taste, and not like perfume or potpourri. I look forward to meeting you on any visit, man. I love meeting people and getting to wax and talk mead related things and everything like that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like such a nerd, like getting to meet all these mead makers and everything. I feel like I explained to my wife the other day, she just rolled her eyes and shook her head at me like, you're such a dumbass. But like, there's a movie out there called Almost Famous. We're about this kid who's like 15 and gets to join a rock band's tour as like the journalist for, I think he pretends to be for Rolling Stone or whatever it is. And he's supposed to be writing this thing as they go. And I feel like I'm in that same position. It's like I get to hang out and talk to these mead makers. And I feel like I'm just like peeking into this world of, I would say, fame and like rock and roll lifestyle. But to me, it kind of is, because it's something I don't get to do. I don't get to open my own meadery. I live in a place where I can't even barely have the room to brew my own mead, let alone afford to open a meadery. Not that I can't afford to brew my own mead. I literally don't have the room, physical room, and it's in Arizona, man. I have bullshit temperature control, and I can't really justify spending the money. And I'm making jet fuel. You know what I mean? So I really find it hard to justify those things. So like I said, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. I feel like I'm hanging out with rock stars when I meet mead makers who have these glorious meaderies. Like I said, Cult Meadery in Tacoma, Washington is a metal venue that sells mead. I mean, how freaking awesome is that? Now, metal and mead might not be your thing together. You might not be a huge metalhead or whatever, but the fact that somebody's out there expanding the mead brand into a culture that might not be completely aware of it. Now, some people might say, well, the metalheads are, already into like Norse themes and Vikings. Yeah, but there's still plenty of people who are unaware. And again, it's something new and entertaining and something out of the norm. Not that there's, again, to be fair, a whole lot of norm within the mead community. You get a handful of the Viking themed places and more what I would call like traditional meadery. Then you have the places that are more like want to go like the winery type route and everything. But beyond that, everybody kind of just is doing their own thing, and it's cool to see the uniqueness that comes from everybody doing their own thing, because there isn't really a standard in that regard. But cool on them for doing a metal venue. I have to say, although do be prepared if you go to Mr. B's spot, you are sitting outside, because that tasting room is, or not, his whole facility is like just packed full of like, looks like experimental mead projects and all sorts of really cool stuff. So if you're not prepared to sit outside in Seattle, come prepared, because you will be sitting outside. But being from Washington and everything like that, it ain't no thing. And this is a perfect time of year to be up there too, doing that, because this is now the great weather time. You don't want to be sitting outside here in Arizona. I'll tell you what, we're shattering records here. We had a couple 6 days last week. 6 days of 115 plus weather in a row. As a distributor, I'm trying to bring in mead. I got three vendors that I'm trying to buy from. There's a new tasting room in Fremont, Washington for Mr. B's. So keep your eyes peeled for the new location and all that stuff, because I bet it's going to be hot and popping. But yeah, hot and popping like Arizona sidewalks. Like I said, 117 degrees for 15 for 6 days straight. And I'm trying to get in mead to fill these orders for my customers that I want to order from the vendors, And I can't justify, I can't trust UPS and FedEx right now to get my meat here in a timely fashion. Even if I pay for 2 day shipping, it's still going to be sitting somewhere in a warehouse for several hours, potentially at 100 plus degrees in these like robot filled warehouses. That I went down and looked at one after having package loss last time. That is absolute chaos. I mean, it's like organized chaos, but you can't just go down there and pull your package off the line. Like, you can't just go down to the facility and say, hey, I'm here to pick up my package because it's stuck in there and you're going to deliver it in 2 days. Can I get it now? No, they can't, because it's off in the ether of the UPS facility or FedEx facility, man. And I refuse to buy mead and have it sit there and put it on the shelves here as quality. I think it kind of goes against everything that I stand for in the TK and drinks to, try to promote quality and community and everything like that. So if here I go buying mead and let it sit down and potentially spoil and go sideways on everybody, that wouldn't be doing anybody a service. It's just wasting money, wasting product. And I know the mead makers out there would much rather have their product land safe and be on the shelves in a stable condition than to just sell it to me and take the money. That's why I work with the people I work with, because we're on the same wavelength as far as that goes. But it's definitely killing me not being able to make those purchases and get more meat on the shelves. But on the plus note, so in addition to Opagard Meadery and in addition to Spacetime Mead and Cider Works out of Pennsylvania, I am now officially Again, as soon as I can make my first purchase, but all the paperwork's all taken care of. Officially a distributor for Brimminghorn Meadery out of Milton, Delaware. I've been working with John and JR over there. Got everything squared away, and we will be carrying their stuff ASAP. I mean, I think maybe next week we're supposed to have some like low to mid 100 days, like 104, 105. And if I could be guaranteed some of those days, like if the Weather Channel, the news, like all 6 weather apps I follow, and everybody all consistently says it's going to be like 104 for a few days, like I think I can justify the shipping at that point, because overnight it gets down to like in the mid to upper 70s. And if I again pay for the 2-day shipping, think I can make that happen. But man, I really hate having to deal with these hot temperatures out here. I mean, look, if I said it wasn't a bonus in the wintertime, you know, that's the big famous line around Phoenix, is you don't have to shovel, you never have to shovel sunshine. So every time it's snowing anywhere else, people in Arizona are like, well, you don't have, well, no, sorry, take that back. People in Phoenix and southern Arizona, because people in northern Arizona, Flagstaff, Prescott, Cholo, all those places, they definitely deal with snow, and sometimes by the foot. Like Flagstaff gets some serious snow. So those cats up at Drinkinghorn Meadery up there, they're very aware of all the weather that happens up there. Same with Superstition up in Prescott. But you know, dealing with this heat down here is absolute murder during the summertime, and during the say during the spring and fall. Like we don't even have spring and fall here. You have hot in the winter, warm in the winter, then you got hot, super hot, and then hot. Because like even up into September and October, you'll have it be 100 degrees up to 100 degrees in the day. And I mean, yeah, it starts cooling off down at night, you know, back down into the 60s and whatnot. But man, I'll tell you, that is just, it's wearing on me. I've been here for 15 years and I'm just absolutely freaking worn out. I think we're going to might try to relocate the TK and Drinks operation to somewhere in a much more hospitable climate. Because if this is, I mean, today Solstice was just on Sunday, and we already had, before Solstice, had record-breaking heat. So what's that say for the rest of the summer, when we're going to be getting normally, like, I think last year we had record-breaking days above 110. It was like 35 days above 110 or some nonsense like that. So I'm really, really interested. Well, not interested. Really kind of. I don't know what's a negative interested. Like I'm dreading. I'm dreading to see what the summer is going to bring here. The rest of the summer. Now, monsoon really didn't kick off last year. So anybody not familiar with Arizona or the Southwest, in the summertime, that's when we get all our rain, in the monsoon. So monsoon comes through, these big storms, giant dust storms sometimes, and dump tons of rain in a short amount of time. And sometimes you get the supercells that just drop tons of freaking rain over a short period in a concentrated area. They come with like tornadoes sometimes, and lightning storms and microbursts, and it's just the whole thing can just get really nasty. But that's where we get all our water and everything, and most of our rain. Well, last year we didn't have that much of a monsoon, so this year, I mean, it's already pretty much kicking off. Just when I was coming home today, it's already all orange outside and wind blowing, and plus we got like what I think they said today, 75% of the wildfires, 70+% of the wildfires going on in the country right now are going on in Arizona. We got one over in the Strawberry, northern, like kind of northeastern Arizona, in the Strawberry, said it was 67,000 acres and only like 30-something% contained, 2 miles from structures that already had burned, 30-something structures. We had one down in the Miami Globe area, which is just east of the valley, and they've been having some hellacious fires over there. I can't remember what the name of that one is, but that one's been going for a while. I want to say like a week and a half, 2 weeks. That one, man, some of the sunrises in the mornings have been just absolutely breathtaking for the wrong reasons, because you get all this smoke coming up from the east and just get these neon pink and neon orange sunrises, and you can just see the sun as this glowing orb just going up through the sky, and it looks super, just surreal. And you get lost in the beauty of it, and you stop and think about, oh wait, that's because there's a bunch of people's houses are threatened and all this other stuff. For a second there, you definitely get lost in the beauty of it all and whatnot. So all that culminates down to, definitely wanting to relocate the TK and Drinks situation outside of the immediate Phoenix metropolitan area desert heat, because it is getting hellacious. But again, that's how we do in Arizona. And I do have to agree with their never shoveling sunshine. Try to say that 3 times fast. Never shoveling sunshine. In the wintertime, I see tons of cats out there ass deep in snow, neck deep in snow, and I can just look outside. I mean, I've literally spent Christmas by the side of a pool because it was warm enough to do that. And it's an interesting experience. Just like when I lived in Las Vegas for about a year, and a lot of people don't realize that Las Vegas, while being in the desert, is what they call the high desert. So Las Vegas sits at almost 4,000 feet. It's like 3,600, 3,700 feet. So it fucking snows in Las Vegas. And when I lived there, I made it a point. It started snowing one day, and I got off work. And usually, if anybody who lives in Las Vegas, you pretty much avoid the strip like the plague, because that's where all the tourists are. That's where all the traffic's at. There's all the drama. Just stay away from LVV. But I said to myself, how many opportunities are you going to have in your life to drive up and down Las Vegas Boulevard when it's snowing amongst all the lights of the casinos and everything like that? And this was in like 2004. Pretty sure it was 2004, Christmas 2004. And so I made it happen, and it was a unique experience, and I'm glad I made it out there and forced myself to do something like that and deal with the snow and everything, because I had a sports car at the time. It was most definitely not the easiest thing to do, but it was one of those once in a lifetime to me, because I wasn't going to be living in Las Vegas for the rest of my life. I already knew that, and I wasn't expecting it to snow every year, because it most certainly doesn't. But that was a unique experience. But definitely trying to get the heck out of the desert and explore some more less inclement weather options. But dealing with all that, again, dealing with the snow in the Northeast or up in Washington State, where you get just a ton of rain. Growing up in Washington, I'm definitely familiar with that. But it doesn't make it any easier to deal with. Got the gray skies all the time, and you go to the Midwest where there's you get kind of better weather, but you still got blizzards to deal with in the winter, and you still got, everything else that's going on with living in a flyover state. Nobody wants to live there. You've got more cows than you do people in your state. I'm not sure I can do that. So let's see where we end up with the TK and Drinks program. But I'm not really sure. But definitely not going to stay in Phoenix forever. Probably be out of here sooner than later. Now there at the end, they definitely picked up a little bit of flavor character, some lemony, citrusy type notes. It wasn't that it was bad. It was just kind of boring, I would say, if anything else. I'm out of water. I need to rinse my cup with. I guess I'll rinse it with Make sure that's not the water for the plants. Got no plant food in that. That is water for spraying cats. Just regular old water. So give that a rinse. Good to go there. So my second beer for TK and Drinks on my Beers and Bullshits Tuesday Night Live special. If you're new to the show, every Tuesday when I do these shows, I try to drink a beer or two during my program, just because it's what I like to do. Have a beer to relax after the week, talk some shit, and run my mouth. And so this week, in addition to the Miami Heist, we just finished from Liquid Gravity there in San Luis Obispo, California. Again, go check out Laguna Seca Racetrack if you get a chance. One of my more favorite breweries that I deal with I say deal with, not like I work with them, but one of my favorite breweries that I like to drink from recently, Baba Brew House out of Texas. I think it's Arlington, Fremont, Freeland, Brookshire. I could have named 1,000 things and none of them would have been right. Brookshire, Texas, which again, I don't even know where that's at, but this is called the Candy Bar. Candy Bar. And this is a peach, apricot, white chocolate. From everything that I hear on the clatter online and from some of the homies that have already had it, this is the absolute business. These guys have just recently started distributing here in Arizona. Give it a couple quick turns, as you saw, spins to try to get any residual sediment stirred up off the bottom there. So let's look at how thick and full that is. Absolutely just, it looks like a fucking puree smoothie or something. Quite a bit of carbonation going on there. You can see the bubbles rocking and rolling. See them bubbles rocking and rolling there. Yeah, buddy. Super peachy. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that is tart. I mean, right off the gutter there, that's tart. I mean, if you can see the head on that thing, it looks like it's like a witch's brew potion, just kind of like boil, tubble, troil, something. I can't rhyme. It's not close enough to Halloween for my Halloween rhymes to be in, but it's looking good. So it's supposed to be super heavy on the white chocolate. The peach and apricot is supposed to add a lot of that body to it. I haven't had this one yet, but I've had a lot of stuff. Actually, my favorite beer I've ever had, hands down now, after months of having thought about it. They had one that was a lychee smoothie style one, and holy crap, that one was phenomenal. It was called the Ba Code. No, take it back. A Sheep Named Sue. A Sheep Named Sue. If you ever get a chance to pick up one of those from Baba Brew House, the lychee flavor on that is phenomenal. If you like lychees, if you know what lychees are, they're a fruit that comes from, I believe, like Southeast Asia. It comes, get them in like Thailand, I believe, Philippines, and maybe even over in like Korea and China and whatnot. But yeah, lychees, they kick ass. Definitely scope out those. So. Ooh, wow. That is nothing but tart, apricot, and tart peach. I don't get any white chocolate whatsoever. Everybody said that this was more of their favorite. Now that has not been compromised. This has been cold chain, proved cold chain distributed. So I mean, it's like it got hot and got all the fruit went funky and started re-fermenting or anything. That was just, you better be into tart, you better be into peach, you better be into apricot to get in on this monster, because that is the only thing I'm tasting. I don't understand. Maybe it's the white chocolate on the top or whatever, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I cleared my palate off pretty good. I wasn't getting a whole lot of hops left. Yeah. I don't know. It ain't really my favorite. It is what it is. So what's coming up with TK and Drinks? We got the new TK and Drinks coming out. The next generation, I think I've been calling it. TK and Drinks Next Generation, where I'm going to be upgrading all of my video series that I do. So it's going to be doing my video reviews, the interviews, and my food and review videos. So all those are getting an upgrade. I believe we're going to be adding in, trying to add in more B-roll, trying to add in more dog. Sorry, I got the dog just right out of camera shot, driving me crazy. You probably see him walking around back there. He's being a goofball. But yeah, so trying to get some more camera angles, better shots, better everything, just upgrade that whole performance in general, produce a better quality product for everybody. It's because y'all deserve it. And actually, one of the other reasons I want to do all that is because I'm officially starting and I guess it's a little bit late into the broadcast to be talking about it, but starting a TK and Drinks Patreon account. Should be having that done. Yeah, hi Bubba's. Yeah, hi Shadow. Should have the TK and Drinks Patreon account up and going here by the end of the week. I got all the information filled out, waiting on a few other things to come through on their end, and we'll be good to go. So be on the lookout for TK and Drinks Patreon account. I got, I think, 4 different tier levels. No, I'm sorry. I have 4 different tier levels, and that is going to be predominantly based around a new series specifically for the Patreon account. I mean, I think it eventually will make its way over to the YouTube channel and everything, but I'm going to be starting, because everybody over there has to pay to be part of the Patreon account team, I'm going to start a TK and Drinks. What? That's expensive. I know, clever name, right? What? That's expensive TV. I call it TV, force of habit. Video series. And that's going to be around spending the money that the TK and Drinks Patreon account brings in to specifically purchase expensive, rare, low quantity, different types of meads from around the mead community, commercially and whatnot, and then also be able to spend that on potentially sending TK and Drinks to meaderies for interviews, maybe like the Sugarland Mead Festival, doing all those different types of things to try to just bring the whole TK and Drinks community up to, again, like I said, the next generation. Try to step up the game. Been at it a year now, and it is time to take it again, like I said, to the next level, the next generation, the next iteration, the big new deal, which is me, TK and Drinks, the new big deal. I'm sorry. But for real though, I am going to be upgrading all the TK and Drinks stuff, and I really am interested in the TK and Drinks Patreon account, being able to expand the audience, being able to expand out into some really cool content we wouldn't be able to provide otherwise, because I'm not, unfortunately, strapped with cash. If I just had a ton of money and I could do anything I want and it was independently wealthy, I would definitely fund this entire TK and Drinks program, and nobody would ever have to see a Patreon account or anything like that, and it would just be, all TK and Drinks all the time. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but if we can team up together and maybe get something done, I don't even know. I'm not even expecting any Patreons. Patrons. I had a handful of people clatter about it one time, and after that, just kind of interest fell off. But my interest didn't. I kind of took that to heart and kind of ran with it, and been doctoring it up over the past couple of weeks, and kind of trying to fine tune it and make it into a better, more refined product. And I think I've got it dialed in to where it's going to be it's going to be either a sink or swim thing. I don't think I can do. I think I've got it dialed in to do the best that I can do with it, and we'll just see how it goes from there. So be on again on this week. Later this week, obviously it's only Tuesday, but later this week we'll be doing the TK and Drinks Patreon drop. So follow me over on Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if I'll be able to drop any notifications here on YouTube, but definitely follow me over on the social media. Get all the the information about TK and Drinks Patreon page, and how you can be a part of that, what your perks are for joining, different tier levels, everything that comes along with that. And hopefully we can foster and garner a kick-ass community over there, because I'm dying to have a stronger community. I get a handful of people that show up every live video that I do now. Like I said, 2 weeks off, kind of maybe some people fell off, didn't know. And usually I forget to post about it, to be honest, on Instagram and Facebook, that I'm going to be doing live videos. So maybe some people haven't scheduled or whatever. But I'm really looking forward to the Patreon thing, be able to do some of these more elaborate projects and bring something, expand the whole TK and Drinks universe through that project. So again, TK and Drinks Facebook, TK and Drinks Instagram, follow me, and stay up to date on all the content as far as to when the Patreon will be launching. So if you follow me already, definitely be done. Make sure to follow by the end of the week because I'm going to be releasing that ASAP. Man, I was really disappointed with this all around today. The Miami Heist, the Candy Bar. I need to get some meads and crack some meads on the show. It's just a lot easier to come up on a can here and a can there. You know, I guess I can get not really a whole lot of session meads around here, especially canned session meads. There's one meadery here in Phoenix that does a lot of session meads, but they've specifically asked to asked me to keep their name out of my mouth. So I try to as much as possible. So I don't try to give them any clout or even mention their name, which is unfortunate because they do make a few of their products I've had. Most of them are pretty decent. But yeah, so unfortunately, not a lot of session canned meads available here in Phoenix, unless you want to get something from Superstition, which I generally try to not support Superstition just out of my own, try to support my own brands and whatnot. But yeah, no session meads, no cans. So that's why I do the beers. Plus, it started off as a beers and bullshits thing. And it's TK and drinks, not just TK and mead and whatnot. So definitely dig that. Coming up on the end. Ooh, approaching 653, 654. Thank you all for being here. Whoever is here still. I've had one faithful follower on YouTube. And I've got to talk to Mr. B there on Instagram. Had a couple other people pop in and out. Hopefully somebody got something quasi-entertaining out of this tonight. I don't know who it is, but I can only assume that the follower over on Instagram, this follower on YouTube is my mom. If it's not, I apologize. If it is, hi, Mom. Thanks for showing up tonight. Again, if it's not, hi, whoever you are, and thank you for being here almost the whole time. I think pretty much the whole time. And sorry you had to hear me stumble and bumble and ramble about a bunch of nonsense, but that's pretty much what I do here on TK and Drinks Live. So you can definitely expect more of that in the future. Try to get the Restream going. Restream's a program where I can launch, again, like I was saying, everything all at one time. I can do YouTube, I can do Facebook, I can do Instagram. Drinking Horn does that. If anybody follows Drinking Horn Meadery over on Instagram or Facebook, and they do have a YouTube channel as well. If anybody follows Drinking Horn, they do that every other Monday night. They have Monday Night Mead, where they do a live broadcast on all of their programs all at once: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and it works out really well for them. So I'm going to be hijacking that model as best I can. Like I said, I got the two things going. I got the Instagram going, I got the YouTube going, two separate cameras, two separate things, but we're still heading in that direction. So it's slowly happening. It's merging. We're getting here, and we're going to be here, and pretty soon we'll be here, which I don't know if that's even like a thing. I think I just kind of made shit up as I went, but eventually we're going to be there all at one unit. And yeah, so super excited about that. Like I said, can't justify bringing in meads, shipping meads in from any of my vendors, because it is too ridiculously fucking hot here in Phoenix to justify having meads sit around and UPS trucks drive around all day in the back of the truck when it's 118 degrees outside. And the truck gets sidetracked and whatever, and then all of a sudden now I'm selling super concentrated swill that nobody really wants. Oh, what's up, my brother Tony from Mezen Cobb Meadery, which I assume butcher the name out of, and will someday be corrected when I get to visit Mexico and show up down there and drink a bunch of his delicious meads. This dude made a freaking carrot mead that looked amazing. Anybody else out there, take up the challenge, make a carrot mead, see if it can be better than his, because I can guarantee you he's going to give you a run for your money. He's probably laughing his ass off at that right now. But it's true. I've never seen anybody do a carrot mead. This is fucking getting undrinkable. God damn. It's got like a film on the top of it almost. Like, I don't know if I could pick that up in the YouTube camera. Probably not. Maybe over in the Instagram camera. No. It's got this like funky film on the top of it. All that like bubbling and toil and trouble in it, which is Brewha, and it did earlier. It was, I don't think, for the best. But again, I went straight out of their cooler, straight home into my fridge, and then right out here. So what is that? Maybe a half hour that it sat out at room temperature. I'm sorry, is a half hour of brew sitting out at half hour gonna kill it? If that's the case, man, because the can was still cold when I grabbed it. It couldn't have been that freaking warm. You're welcome, my man. I mean, I'm going to finish it out of principle, but holy crap. I take it back. Don't get this one from Baba Brewhouse. Maybe if you're there and they got it on tap, give it a shot. But if you can get the other candy bar, personally, they have a different candy bar. It was like dark chocolate, currants, black currants, and like raspberries or black cherries or something like that. Whatever that one was, that's the one you want to get. That one tasted good. This is not. Hey, look, if you like drinking super tart peach apricot concentrate with a tiny bit of beer flavor to it, then this is definitely your gig. If not, then stay fucking away from this. This is, holy crap, not good. Which again, I'm really sad because about everything, almost everything else I've had from Baba Brewhouse has been really good. Not this one though. So, thank y'all for being here tonight. Rolling up on 7 o'clock. Faithful TK and Drinks viewers, be on the lookout for TK and Drinks Patreon account coming out this week. 4 tiers ranging from $5 to $50 a month, which I know sounds ridiculous, but all I can do is put my stuff out there, and if anybody thinks it's cool and worth it, then we'll see. I'm expecting to get, I'm not expecting to get much. It sounds so rude when I say it that way. It's like I don't think much of my audience, but that's not the case. It's like, I guess I just have low expectations because, I'm becoming again, my terms, a professional YouTuber, becoming a paid person to get to do YouTube videos and reviews and all these things and everything is there's such a narrow margin. I try not to get my hopes up to be dashed, but I guess that's the negative. My wife always gets on me about like beating myself up about stuff like that. But hey, you know what it is, what it is. Put the Patreon account out there. If people want to join, they join. If they don't, they don't. We'll work with whatever happens, and we'll go from there. And if handful of people join up, I'll kick in and we can make it happen. We'll make something cool happen regardless. Even if there's only 3 of us over there, me and two other people, we will make something happen. We will figure it out, and I'm not going to let it not be cool. I've been working too hard at this TK and Drinks thing over the past year to let it fail and flunder and flubber and flounder, all those different words that mean bad. You know what I mean? Working too hard on this as a group to let it fail. So thank y'all for being here. And like I said, check out TK and Drinks on Facebook, Instagram. Thanks for following me here on YouTube and also Instagram. If you're not on the Facebook, go follow me over there. And then, again, keep your eyes peeled for TK and Drinks Patreon. We'll be doing live chats over there, monthly live chats. We'll be doing community Discord type chats we got going on for everybody who gets in over there. Get yours. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But like I said, so we have community chats on Discord. We're going to have monthly live chats if you're at a certain Patreon level. If you want to join at a certain level, we have voting rights, how to spend your dollars for the TK and Drinks putting together, again, those more expensive, rare, elusive types of meads from around the country and potentially from around the world. Let's get some of those high-end superstitions, maybe something for like a Heart of Darkness from Shram's, maybe that Utopia from Moonlight Meadery, that some of these $100 bottles, close to $100 plus bottles. And let's, if somebody joins up even at the premium level, who knows, man, maybe we can even, I would love to be able to meet up with somebody in person and do a TK and Drinks Patreon dual tasting. So I'm not just drinking this expensive ass mead by myself, drink it with somebody else or a couple somebodies who could appreciate it. We bring that community together, man. Like I always say in my reviews, in my interviews, a high tide rises all ships. We can all pool our money together and get a couple of us together one time to do a cool meetup or something like that. Hey, man, it's going to benefit everybody. So, like I said, put it out there, cast a wide net, see what happens, see what kind of clamor and clatter we get, and we'll go from there. But it is 7:02. It is now my dinner time. I put my family out in the other room, clicking and clacking for me to be out there. So thank you all, everybody, for being here tonight. You make sure I'm in all the cameras. And don't fucking get a bar code, candy bar, whatever the fuck this thing is. Don't get one of these. I got another one that's got a pink and purple label. Pick that one up. That one's good. This one, like I said, unless you're ready to go all in on the tartest peach apricot beer flavored monstrosity you could imagine, skip on this. And I don't really tell people that often. I mean, even when there's meads and shit I don't really tell people to not buy them. But this one I would just say, don't spend your money. Just don't. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good evening. Laters.